Hey everybody, welcome to Midday Market Update. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always glad to be here. Always glad to have you here. If you can hear me loud and clear, please respond in the affirmative, preferably with VV Nation, to let me know that I am coming across loud and clear and that everybody can hear me, because I got some stuff to talk about today and to get off my chest, especially when it comes down to investing. It's all about the investing. All right, so Joey, there we go. Dirk is here saying, okay. Are we having a case of the Mondays? I got nobody really chatting today. That's interesting. Normally, I got a lot of people in here letting me know where they are and a whole bunch of other things. Johnny is here. Hi, Johnny. Hi, Brian. Tell me when. There you go. Can I take it? All right, let me take that so I can see my Facebook people as well. I'm trying to take it. There we go. Don't do anything yet. Let me adjust the window. There we go. So I can see both on Facebook and on YouTube what's going on. I can see the chat on both. Now, we could be having a delay. It could be, and that's why you guys are sitting there and not responding as much. Well, I want to make sure you're okay, that you're awake, because hopefully you had a good weekend, and we're going to start off the week the right way with talking about what you guys need to look for going into the week, and talk about some stocks. We're going to talk about a lot of stocks, hopefully some stocks that are not on your radar yet. I got a new little segment about biotechs that you guys always need to be looking at, because a lot of times you see these stocks rock and roll, and you want to know and be in those stocks before they start to rock and roll. So I'm going to start incorporating some biotech stocks for you guys to keep your eyes on, and we're going to track them a little bit and see how well they've done. So Karen is here. Good morning. Good afternoon, Karen. Will Asif is here. Leetrick is here. Ashbury is here. Fernando Halal is here. Good afternoon to you as well. So yes, let's get rocking. If you're brand new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you'll be alerted to when new videos or live streams like this come out. Don't forget to hit the like button. Let me know that it was worth your time to spend some time with us here on Midday Market Update. And folks, if you agree that we put out a lot of great information here, type a 1 in the room. If you feel that we put out a lot of great information on the market, type a 1 in the room, because there's a reason why I'm asking this. Are we clear from the bear market, says Alberto? If you watched my video that came out this Friday, I'm giving you some signs to look for, because this market doesn't feel right. This market hasn't felt right for a minute. All right. So now, for everyone who's typing a 1 that we do provide great information, I want each and every one of you to take a simple second right now. Share this live link with people in your social circles.
Were created to limit
and
mitigate
risk. Share that link right now, because I think that we should have more live people in these sessions right now. And I understand a lot of people watch this after the fact. That's great. But if they can watch it live and be able to interact with me, I will answer all the questions that I can. Share this link and do it now for me, all right? Share it now, and let's get some people in here. One, since you said it doesn't feel right. Bill, I am a big believer that this market does not feel right. And we're going to talk about something that happened over the weekend. All right, so we're looking at the homepage right now. We've got 3 green lights for 2 solid days in a row. But I want you to pay attention to what's going on in the market today as well. So let's start off right now. And Joey put the link to Friday's video, which explains a lot of what I think is going on in the market right now and things to look for, because things just don't totally add up right now. There's still no good news out in the market except for, and let's get to that right now. From my web view side, there we go. From my web view, this is big news, and it's big news not from its political standpoint, but it's big news when it comes down to investing in the market. The question came up is, have we gotten past the bear market? That was Jake's question. So Jake, this is what I'm proposing to you to answer your question. The Inflation Reduction Act came through over the weekend, all right? The House the Senate came through and they approved it. Now it goes to the House. You see this number? This is $80 billion. Actually, it's $750 billion worth of spending in a time when we should be in a recession. And I think that it's tough. And again, I'm not looking at the political ramifications. I'm looking at from an inflationary standpoint. When you spend money, it adds to rising inflation. And all of this is being centered around, you look at our recession that we're in right now, it all stems off of high inflation and what the Fed is doing to combat high inflation. So, I need some more insight from you guys. Do you think that the spending of the money will add to inflation? Type of 1. If you think that the bill is not going to add to inflation, type A2. All right. My opinion is the more you spend, the higher the inflation is going to go. That's how we got here. All right, if you think about it, that's pretty much how we got here, is with all of the stimulus money. Now, Tyree says no. Tom says no. Lauren says no. And again, I am not here to judge anybody or to berate anybody or to contradict anybody. I'm just looking at it on paper. When you spend money, it raises inflation. And if inflation keeps raising, what happens is the Fed stays hawkish. The Fed is still going to aggressively go after raising interest rates to bring inflation down. That's where we stand. So, again, Paul, I'm not going to get into the political ramifications behind it. A lot of people are going to say it's, before the midterm elections, that this could be fodder for the midterm elections. Personally, don't care. I want to know how is it going to affect me when it comes down to investing in the stock market, because this is a sign, if inflation rises higher, this is a sign that the market still has some more downside. It's Tom says it's related to consumption behavior. Becky thinks we're at the peak. All right. We got inflation number coming out this week, do we not? The analysis I have seen point to the market high around mid-August or in 2022 to the 22nd to the 26th area, and then resume downtrend. The layoffs have begun too. If you follow me on Twitter, I've been tweeting out the companies that are either thinking about or have started to initiate layoffs. That's going to be a big part of being in a full-blown recession. We are in recession by way of GDP, but unemployment is still low. And if the raising of the interest rates continue, companies are going to start missing earnings because it's going to be a draw on the company's ability to make money. Because when it comes time to borrow money, it's going to be at a higher interest rate, which means they're going to have to pay money out of pocket. I bought a year's supply of toilet paper last 3 months. Ego at, did you really, Lou? Why? Why are you going to buy toilet paper? Lauren says the purpose of the bill seems to be to address a number of problems like prescription drug costs, as well as spurring more alternative energy production. I don't think those things are inflationary. So if you're going after the alternative energy, which I'm on board with, I've done a lot of videos on electric vehicles, so I am on board with that. But there's still, Lauren, the demand is still going to be for fossil fuels at this particular point in time. We have not gotten to a point where the majority of Americans are on board with alternative energy. It is still going to take time. And as that goes on, what are we using for energy? We're going to still use coal and we're going to still use oil, and the demand is going to still be high for the both of those things. Long term, though, do I think that we move over to more alternative energies like solar, like wind, like electric? And the answer to that is yes, but it's going to take time to get there. It is definitely going to take time to get there. So is it still inflationary even though we're going after those things? I still think that the demand for oil, the demand for coal is still going to be there. And if the supply is not there, we're going to still have inflation. We're going to still have inflation. So that's what I'm putting on that. Lewis says, if you think all this spending is not going to cause inflation, I have some listen, I still think that I've given my point, and you guys have answered from a majority standpoint that you think that it is going to add to inflation. But all we got to do now is see what the market gives us, and we take what the market gives us. Now, again, U.S. stocks, my next story, U.S. stocks bounce ahead of this week's inflation number. There's inflation coming out this week. CPI, economists expect the CPI cooled somewhat last month thanks to the retreating fuel prices. A lot of the inflation, folks, is built into rising oil prices. It really is. The estimate is looking for 8.7 growth. 8.7% growth year over year compared to June's 9.1 annualized gain. Even if it's at 8.7, it is still high inflation, folks. Even if it is 8.7. Now, it'll cool off, and that's great. And the Fed will then say, well, then what we're doing hawkishly by raising interest rates, we're affecting inflation. We'll see. All right, all I'm doing is putting out there what you need to know. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not looking at the political ramifications behind it. I want to know that as investors in the market, how is it going to affect me? So now, that's the market. Let's go into looking at what's going on in the market today. And Joey said to me today, he says, hey, Glenn, the market's up. I showed him this graph. I think that as the news settles in, as we know, I still think that the spending is going to raise inflation. Look at what all of the indices are doing today. The S&P gapped up this morning. Look at what it's doing now, coming out to session lows, sitting at 413.51. Look at the NASDAQ. Notice that these stocks now, intraday, have now faded the gap to the, we gapped up, but we're now fading the gap. And now, right now, we're all on all of the indices trading at session lows, with the exception of the VectorVest composite. Now, how can that be? How can the spiders be fading the gap, the Qs be fading the gap, and the Dow almost fading the gap, but the composite isn't? Keep in mind that the spider tracks 500 stocks. The Q track about 4,300 stocks, but it's very tech heavy. The Dow only tracks 30 stocks, but our VectorVest composite tracks the movement of over 9,000 stocks. So it's not going to respond as knee-jerk reactionary as the other indices. This is why we use the VectorVest composite, or the VVC, for market timing purposes, because of the sheer number of stocks that we track. All right. So based on the news, I've given you my opinion. I wanted to hear what you guys thought along the way as well. And now let's get into some stocks that are making news today. All right. And we'll start off with Apple. Apple portfolio has never been stronger, and this is an opinion from Manes Crespi. I own Apple. I always like to try to be very transparent with the stocks that I own. I currently own Apple. I still think long-term Apple is a good play. So does this person. Here's Palantir. I've talked a lot about Palantir, especially on Twitter. Palantir cuts revenue forecast, says the government contracts timing uncertain. Now, when I look at this story, Palantir is trading at about $11. And this is an AI company that takes data and makes it and takes that data into usable information, no matter where you are or what you do. And a lot of contracts are with governments. And you know something, love that you can get a government contract, but when will they pay, and will they pay, blah, 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 blah. And all of the money that they're getting from these contracts, they put back into the company to make the company better in regards to how it presents the information that's being paid for. All right. So from that perspective, Palantir still hasn't made a lot of money. All right. And it's still a speculative play. I still like it strictly because of what I know it can do and what other people are seeing that it can do. But earnings missed and the stock's price went down. All right. Next one, GBT got bought by Pfizer. Global blood therapeutics shares tick higher after Pfizer buy agree. So if you're in GBT, it's going to be set at a specific price because it's going to stop trading. Pfizer now owns it. And what this does is it makes Pfizer a stronger company by going after another company that can help it. And that's what any drug or biotech company should do. They want to have as much in the pipeline as they possibly can to be able to put more and more drugs out. So I think it's a good move for Pfizer. GBT brought themselves up to an opportunity where they could be bought by a bigger company, and that's exactly what happens. Here's another stock, and this was brought to my attention by Patrick, my What is it? Ace Boom. I don't know what the heck. He's my partner in crime here on the YouTube channel. But Bed Bath & Beyond jumps nearly 40%. AMC surges as the meme chatter on message boards increase. I still own, right now, I do not own any Bed Bath & Beyond. I do not own any AMC, but I do own some GME, especially what happened with the split dividend. And I think that they got a lot of things going on in the background. Bed Bath & Beyond. Well, Ryan Cohen took a play in them as part of their board. And you know something? I'm thinking that Ryan Cohen could be the next Elon Musk by way of the things that he's done with the companies that he's gotten involved with. So I put in a buy order at 5 cents higher than today's high as a buy-in on this stock. You know me, I don't like to chase a stock, so I want to make sure that it's rising higher than today's high before I jump on board. I think that these companies that are being looked at as meme stocks, if they're doing things to pivot and make money and show people that they are viable companies, I love that idea, and they're not going to let the big hedge funds push them out of business. I like that a lot. All right, so, and my last story, we'll come back to that in a second. So those are all of the stories that I have today. Let's go back to the VectorVest program. Where am I looking? Oh, I need to be, I just tabbed through everything. Here we go. Let's go to my viewers tab, and let's go take a look at the indices today. All right, so we already looked at the major graphs of the indices, the VVC, the spiders, the Qs, and the Dow. Now let's go look at something like the Russell 2000. On a day like today, people are buying into the riskier stocks or the lower dollar stocks or the lower cap stocks. VIX is up, still above the value of 20, but not by a much. So it's telling me that the volatility in the market is still there, but it's not as prevalent as it was. How many of you still feel that the market is super volatile? Type of 1. If you think that the volatility is backing off, type of 2. All right. And the big reason why I ask this question is because we can still see big swings in a day, whether it's on the market, whether it's on individual stocks. How many of you still think that volatility is high and affecting the market, or are we starting to slow down? Is the dollar worthless rather than inflation because the feds keep printing money? And the thing is that the dollar has been getting stronger as we start to take money out of the market, Elwood. It is getting to a point that the dollar is stronger, but if the market feels that the raising of the interest rates or well, it's going to look a lot better if the market pulls back because of the higher interest rates, Elwood. That's probably the better way from the answer. Now, it's interesting that I'm looking at the results, and a lot of people are feeling that volatility is pulling back. You can look at that strictly by the number, but are you feeling that in your portfolio? So it's interesting that I see a lot of people saying that volatility is pulling back. Anytime it's above the value of 20, we have volatility or more volatility in the market. And the higher it is, the more volatile the market is. And the UVIXI is up as well. All right. So those are the major indices. We looked at the major indices by way of our graphs as well. But now let's talk about the stocks that made the big news today. All right. So out of the big news stories, there's Apple, there's Bed Bath & Beyond, Pfizer, GBT should slow up. All right, because it's getting bought. Look at the price compared to the value on this biotech. And that's not abnormal. A lot of biotech companies are trading way higher than their values. For those people who are brand new to the channel, value is what we feel a stock is worth. We look at things like earnings, we look at things like earnings growth rate, and we assign an intrinsic value on every stock. Now, a lot of people, when you look at trying to value a stock, what do you look at? You look at price to earnings. All right. But if I ask everybody in the room, you know, what's a good PE, everybody will give me a different answer. When you can look at an intrinsic value on a stock and see where a stock's price is trading in accordance to its value, you can clearly define whether the stock is under or overvalued. Lou says some stocks go up in price to catch up inflation, and other stocks will go down as they close the doors. Now, when you talk about closing the doors, again, when it comes down to this quarter, and I've been saying it over and over and over, while the interest rates are rising, it's going to be this quarter and next quarter, which are going to be the real telling signs of how many companies are going to be adversely affected by the rising interest rates. And again, on the Twitter, on my Twitter, if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Glenn Tompkins Jr. I tweet a lot of stuff outside of what we even talk about on our YouTube channel. So if you want to get on top of that, every time I see some good stuff come out, I tweet it out. There's the Pfizer and there's Palantir. Palantir is taking a big hit because of missed earnings, but look at that big move nicely on Bed Bath & Beyond, up 36%. Let's sort this by percent price change, and let's look at the top four. All right, Apple is down just a little bit, and Pfizer is down just a little bit. Palantir is the big loser. Let's right-click. Let's view the stock graphs. Let me bring this over, and let's go put these stocks on a end of day 1 month graph. All right, so this is Bed Bath & Beyond. That was news driven. Let's go put these on a forward quad thingy. And I think that these are all going to be that way. Let's go put them all on end of day 1 month, end of day 1 month, and end of day 1 month to get a better feel. And so Pfizer, as I look at this, Pfizer, let me clear this up. Pfizer buying GBT, not enough to really start to push it up. And you know something, at some point in time, if your stock's price is going down, you got to make some kind of move to bring the stock's price back up. Let's go see if over time, if the GBT buy, the global blood tech buy, helps Pfizer move up. Apple, just look at that on the last 1 month. Bottom left, top right, moving up. Good volume. I own it. Down day to day. I'm not panicking. I'm looking at the 3 and the 8. Looking at it today. I'm okay with a down day. GBT, again, while Pfizer bought them, it's going to level out today and it will go away. So if you're not in it, you ain't going to be able to do anything. But if you are in it, the nice move over the last couple of days before the buyout, nice moves up. And then Bed Bath & Beyond, news driven, but look at the give back today. Nice volume, a lot of volume, but a lot of people taking profits on it as well. A lot of people taking profits on it as well. You know something? There's nothing wrong with that. I just want guys to know, it may have made the news. Do you buy it today? The answer to that is no. I would wait until it takes out that high if the stock still has legs to the upside. So those are my stocks that are making the news today. Let's talk about stocks that made the news last week. Let's see what they did. So these were my stocks. Remember, Pepsi took a big stake in Celsius. ON Semiconductor because of the bill that just got passed. Boeing picked up more orders for planes. NEO and XPEV and Lee were all making moves on the EV side. So let's go back 1 week. Let's go back 1 week and let's go see if these big news stories paid off. Let's do a quick test of all of them. Let's go see what they did. All right. Wow, look at that. Down. But did we have any buying opportunities? ON Semiconductor, I still think is a good space to be in, up over 4%. NEO and Celsius, that got this stake put in by Pepsi, up, but look at the rest of the stocks. So we only had 3 winners, 4 losers off of last week's big news. Notice that with the exception of NEO, Lee and XPEV were down on the EV space. The S&P went up about 0.5% over the time period from last week until now, and these stocks as a whole were down about 0.8%. Remember, these are all news-driven, so you got to time them, right? They're all news-driven. They made the news, and I just wanted to see what they would do. All right, let's talk about earnings this week. Man, do we have a lot of stocks doing earnings. And, when I looked at the big names, I only come up with 43 companies that were the bigger names. Like Wendy's and Plug and XPEL, Rumble, H&R Block, Jack in the Box, Kodak, Cisco, Blink. There's GBT. Again, that's probably going to go away. But out of the top 43 stocks, bigger name stocks that are having earnings this week, some of them already even reported today. When I sort the whole list of 43 by relative safety, let's see what stocks have the best probability of meeting or exceeding earnings, and there they are: Dillard's, Domino's, Biotech, HRB, H&R Block, Cisco, Wendy's. So these are the companies by way of VectorVest, and the ones that have the relative safety above 1 have the highest probability. So out of 43 stocks, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the VectorVest system to have a relative safety above 1. Now, does that mean that all the other stocks that have relative safeties below 1, are they going to miss earnings? That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm looking at probability of companies' ability to meet or exceed their earnings expectations. 6 out of the 43 have relative safeties above 1. Out of this list, let's see which ones are moving up the fastest out of the 43. Sort these by relative timing. Plug, GBT, again, can't get into that, but Blink, clean energy stocks. Coin is in the list as it's been rising after it got a partnership of some sort with BlackRock, exposing more retail investors to crypto. And I made a video. Is this the shot in the arm needed to start pushing crypto higher? Right now, it's up 2.8%. It could be. All right. Remember, these are all companies that have earnings coming up this weekend. Clean Energy and EVO, just like Blink, just like ChargePoint. All of these are on the charging side of EVs. So this is a good time. BNT missed earnings and went down. Thank you, Ninja. Remember, all of the stocks that I have here are stocks that are either reporting today or these are stocks that are reporting throughout the week. So I'm just putting the whole list together. Thank you for that, Ninja, letting me know about BNTX. Now, I do like Biotech because of the drugs that they have in their pipeline overall. But of course, missing earnings will definitely be adverse on a stock's move. Which ones of these stocks have great upside potential? Sorting the whole list of 43, looking at the top 10, Himax. Biotech has still got great upside potential, even though they missed earnings. All right. Again, I do like what they have in the pipeline, but they've got a high relative value, the stock's ability to outperform the market over the next 1 to 3 years. Dillard's, which is retail sales, Trivago, travel stocks are still starting to get on the rise. And I saw a news article that some airlines are starting to back off on their reservations to make sure that they are in line with being able to supply people and get them on airplanes. All right. So 43 stocks by way of rank analysis, I can give you an idea. And look at all of these stocks sorted by relative value. All of these stocks have positive earnings and positive earnings growth, which normally should bode well with being able to meet or exceed earnings. All right. So that's the earnings picture this week. Let's talk about what the fastest indices are right now. So let's go find us Delta Searches Industries. You know I love doing this to see what's really on the rise. So for those of you who are VectorVest subscribers, you already have a search in here called the 10-day price delta, which is looking at a change in price. Delta is a change. I want to see what industries have gone up the most over the last 10 days. So it reports that to me. Now, the second side of it is I want to see what industries have made money over the last 20 days. I take both of these sets of data and look at this. Financial crypto stocks over the last 20 days up 54%. Now, if I'm just looking at the change in price over the last 10 days, you look back and go, man, it's up 25%. But what is it doing, folks? It's starting to lose momentum. Now, I'm not telling you not to buy the crypto stocks, but I am telling you behind the scenes that the industry is losing momentum. Mining uranium up 23% over the last 2 trading weeks. But overall, it's also losing momentum. Part of the video that I did on Friday was giving you some signs of things to keep in mind. One of them was the lack of positive news to move the market higher. One of the other things is looking at the momentum of industries in our database to give you a better assessment of what the market is doing. If the market's moving higher, you expect stocks or industries to be doing well over the last 20 days, but even doing better over the last 10 days. This tells me that for the most part, these are not doing better over the last 10 days, that the market as a whole or these industries as a whole are losing momentum, and that's not advantageous to a rising market. Does that make sense to everybody in the room? Type a 1. If that doesn't make sense to you, type a 2. Remember, when I'm looking at a rising market, I'm looking at the stocks moving, the industries moving, the sectors moving, the market. That's why it's important to look at what the industries are doing. If they are not moving with a momentous move from the last 20 days to the last 10 days, something ain't right. And you can watch the market move higher. But if industries are not moving, the sectors that are not moving the market, something ain't right. So I'm just looking. The whole idea is momentum. Right now, it don't look like we got no momentum. No momentum. And that's what really doesn't feel right to me with what's going on in the market. So again, I love, and this was not, when we look at the deltas, this is what it wasn't meant to give this kind of information, but how cool is it that we can use the flexibility behind the software to bring this kind of information to the forefront to give you a better understanding of what's really going on in the market right now. So you look and you see the market's going up and you go, woo, I'm going to back up the truck, moan back. And the market's going to take off like an airplane. But then all of a sudden you turn around and you look and you go, what just happened? And then you sit back and you look at your portfolio and you go, that ain't cool. These are the things that you need to know behind the scenes that are moving your portfolios. All right. If you like that, if you like what was just brought to your attention, hit that like button, folks. I think that I spend a lot of time to bring good information to the table for you guys to help you guys make money on this channel. Hit that like button. Let me know that having something like this kind of information is good for you and it's helpful to you. All right. So I'm still just, for the most part, I'm not seeing industries on the rise, so I'm not going to even try to look for any stocks that are moving from an industrial perspective just right now. Again, just want you guys to be aware. All right, industry ETFs. Let's go see where the money is going. Hamed says, Batman likes it. Tim says DJ Glenn. No, it's DJ G Sharp. That's my DJ name, DJ G Sharp. Let's go see where the money is going. I've got a watch list. No, Tim says, is that Kramer soundboard? No, it's my soundboard. Joey made it for me. What else is on here? Just for all of the likes that we're getting, I'll do this. There you go. All right, so it's my soundboard. Joey gets me the sounds that I want. Didn't I have other stocks? What happened to the glass crashing? Glass breaking. What happened to the other stuff that I asked you to make, Joey? Why it ain't here? What'd you do? Sigh. I got other sounds. We just haven't put them on my board yet. That's all. It's okay. All right. So where's the money going today? So I've got indices from all over the place. For those of you, look at this. Gold miners are starting to move. Wow. Oil is moving. Again, I still think that the news on the oil hasn't changed. Low supply, demand is waning, but demand will start to pick up again. I still think oil is a good place to be, but you got to time it. I wouldn't buy it yet. I'd wait to, as a matter of fact, if I'm looking at buying it, let's go look at a stock graph. That's intraday. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. Yeah, I'm waiting for, this is on USO. I'm waiting for us to break throughout this level. If I'm looking at this specific ETF, I'm looking to break above the level of 77.56. The 3 and the 8 haven't crossed yet, but we know that oil took a hit. This took a hit, leveling out, not at session lows or, this is a 3-month graph. I'm liking the last 2 days that it's up. I'd like to see it break above. HLBZ, tiny float, tiny cap, going to go nuclear next, no ceiling once it breaks. If I get an opportunity to take a look at any individual stocks, Laura, I will. I honestly will. I'm going to try. But I got to get through my stuff that I got to get through today first, Laura. And if I could do that, I will look at it. But big movers today, community services, is that what that is? Brent oil, and gold starting to move today. Also, gold, copper, Spider Materials, real estate on the rise today. Interesting. XLF on the financials and Spider Utilities starting to move up a little bit. Where's the money not going? Natural gas, the Qs, the Spider Industrial and Healthcare. That's not where it's going. Hey, Marguerite, welcome. Thank you for being here. Shell, Chevron, flat. you know something, I still think oil's a place to be, but I like I said, I would time it. So I wanted to take a look at where the money is going. Gold looks like a play today. Gold looks like a play. Let's go talk to you about my speculative plays. I always bring up stocks for you guys that have either lower dollar in the market or who are looking at speculative plays. I go and handpick speculative plays for you. Here's I got 7 in here. I'm going to take a look at the top 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now look, one of these are a sell, and not everyone has positive earnings and positive earnings growth rate. These are speculative plays. They are lower dollar, lower cap stocks for you guys to keep your eyes on. I've got these 4 that are moving up today. Let's view the graph. Let's go take a look. And let's go put these on a 1-month graph from a speculative play. And this is why I like some of these stocks. You know, I love to use the 3 and 8 exponential moving averages. How about being able to find the day that the 3 and the 8 cross on good volume and RT is above 1? Put APTX as a drug company on your watch list. Another one, uranium. Look at that. The 3 and the 8 just went from being flat to crossing up. Nice open candle, just right at average volume. RT went back above 1. Keep that on your radar. Ship, transportation. Now, overall, this stock is moving sideways, but I do like the 3-8 crossing. A little bit of wick at the top and at the bottom. The volume is above average volume. I need to take my camera off. Take my camera off, Joey, a little bit. Just so that they can see. There we go. This is still sitting right at average volume, but the 3 and the 8 are crossing. I like that idea. Keep it on your radar. And the last one I got, DHC REIT equity, 3-8 crossing, nice open bar, a little bit of a selling pressure. I'd like to see it be above the average volume down here, but I'm not seeing that. But from a speculative play, I like that idea. You could put me back on, Joey. And I'm going to, and I always ask this question, how many of you, I told you, Glenn, don't sleep on uranium. Dan, I hear you, but and I've got this as a pick for you guys. I got this as a pick. Remember, I go through and pick these personally for you. Let's go look at the speculative plays that I brought up last week. All right. Again, I handpicked these for you. Let's go see what they did over the week. So I got them on Monday for you, right? Here were the stocks. Let's go see how they did over the last week. Look at that, folks. Outperform the market. Look at that. How many of you ever keep your eyes on some of my speculative picks? Type a 1 in the room. If you can't stand my speculative picks, type a 2 in the room. All right. How many of you at least take a good, honest look at some of these stocks on the speculative play? Again, I go through and look for some things for you to keep your eyes on. That's all I want you to do. How about AEHR, since I talked about it last week, up 19%. Nice move. That's a nice move. Now, TWI was down 11%. Well, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You know why? Because you never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time for counting when the deal is done. Hold on. Where's that money, Joey? Where did I put my money? Hold on. I got it somewhere. Where's that money? There it is. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. All right, so that's my mad money. All right, and I'm always mad at Joey, so that's why I got mad money. I'm always mad at Joey, and because of that, I got it. Still in AEHR, I think, from the Jockey Club. There you go, Becky. Christian says, you the best, Glenn. Nah, it's not me, it's the software. But I'm glad that I'm able to bring these to your attention. Ship doing a buyback program ending in December. Thank you for that, Elwood. Is that today's giveaway? Nope, Paul. That's all for me. All right, and don't get greedy with an A. I'm not getting greedy. Again, if I was getting greedy, I wouldn't be giving these out to you, right? All right, today's big movers. Let's talk about what stocks are making big moves today. I've got 19 stocks. Man, look at this. These are stocks being driven by news. Here's QRTEB, up 326%. Let's view the stock news. put it on mine. Excellent. And it's down now. That's because the stock was up. But now, I don't know what the news was on it. But man, can we find them after the fact? Absolutely. Report second quarter 2022 financial results. That was 3 days ago. I don't know what made this company go up 326. Oh, I got it. Sorry. Never mind. Sorry. There we go. It wasn't there. All right. So now let's go look. Zong, that's a Chinese company. Let's go view the stock news on it. Up like 99%. 17 days ago. What news comes out today? Nothing. I got nothing. And you know something? That's like that HKD stock, another Chinese stock that went up a cajillion percent with no news. This is another Chinese stock that's going up 100% with no news. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, yo, I don't understand that. All right, I don't understand that. Karuna Therapeutics, KRTX, up 61%. Another pharma. Bed Bath & Beyond. Again, I put in an order at session highs. We'll see if it hits. So there are companies that are on the rise today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go see if there's worth it for us to get into any of these stocks. We're going to look at intraday graphs, look at all 4 of them on intraday graphs. Let's go see. Top made its money this morning. Leveling out right now at a beautiful level of resistance, sitting at the value of 23.19. I wouldn't buy into it until it went across. KRTX, a lot of small bars right here as it's moved. It made all of its money. That looks more, it just went up and stopped going up. CINC, big move today, early this morning, leveling out. And Bed Bath & Beyond, I put my order in for this stock 5 cents higher than the high. And I think the high is at 13.34. I put in and buy order at 13.39. If it doesn't hit, then I don't get into it. Can you combine the MPI with your rising industry groups? Absolutely. The MPI search is there, and I could build that. And that's a great question, David. Now that you guys have the MPI search in the software, you can add industries or sectors to that. Absolutely. Hi, Carol. Glenn, sometime in the near future, would you be willing to comment on the China financial crisis and how it might affect U.S. markets? Ramor, I might have to talk about that. That may have to be a video. So we might have to do that. Elwood says, I bought ship on your speculations and it did not pan out that you can see. And you know something? That's why I put these out here for you guys to take a look at. I am not putting them out there and say, folks, go buy these stocks because they're guaranteed to make money. These are stocks that hit my radar and I want them on your radar. That's pretty much what I want. Does that make sense? Who asked me that? Does that make sense? Elwood, does that make sense? Glenn, my man, please give your advice. Went long with Crocs, 1,300 shares. Looked like a breakout, but flush with the market. Would you hold this for a swing if you didn't recover today? Did they? What was their earnings? Did they not miss earnings? Was that not what it was all about for Crocs? Did they not miss? And if they did, then earnings is going to play a big role in being able for a stock to be good, bad, or indifferent. Sorry, no MPI on iPad. Yeah, you won't, Albert. You can't do the MPI on the iPad. You've got to be on the desktop. All right. Let's do this. LABU still in play or take profit? Stephanie, I wouldn't be afraid to take profits on LABU. It's been up nicely. I wouldn't be afraid to do that. All right. So last but not least, let's go take a look at, for those of you who are day traders, I've got some day trade picks for you to take a look at. Let's go see if any of them are worth getting into. I'm going to look at the top 4. View the stock graph. Let's go see for those of you who are day traders. So I looked at these early. Nice gap up on LKNCY. I wouldn't take it from a day trade perspective until it hits the intraday high. I'd go 5 cents higher than the high. I like that it pulled back. But formed a nice little level of support sitting here at 1547. I'd like to see it continue to bounce higher, but I would put in an order about 5 cents higher than the high. RT is above 1, so I do like that as well. Let's go look at EURN. Again, nice move this morning, but leveled out, trading right now at session highs. right at resistance. The resistance level is 1540. I do like that it also created a level of support sitting at 1525. Let's see if that level will hold. If it goes down below, the stock's going to have more legs to the downside as a day trade. It's sitting in a channel. Let's see if it can break above that level of resistance before you pull the trigger as a day trade. TRVI looked good when I saw it. I'm not feeling it now. I'm not liking the lack of volume as well. I would probably stay away from that as a day trade. Another shipping company made its money this morning. It did create a solid level of resistance at $10.96. Also created a level of support sitting in another channel. I'd like to see if the stock can break above that right now. So now let's do this. I'm right at the time where I should be stopping, but I'm going to take 5 of your stocks. 5 of your stocks. I type them in the room. I'm only taking 5 to take a look at. We're going to look at them on a 3-month basis to see what they look like. So I'm going to analyze 5 of your stocks. I want 2 from Facebook, though. I'll take 3 from YouTube, but I'm looking for at least 2 from Facebook. So I'm going to go AGRX, TDS. That's 2 from YouTube. And I'm going to take a look at Crocs. We're going to take a look at Crocs. Facebook. What do you want? SNPS. And what else did you want? Give me another one. Give me another one on Facebook. ALDX. I'll take that one because that's a drug company. Nobody from Facebook gave me another one. I'm going to take those. So I got 5. Let's go put this on a 3-month graph. And you know what I'm going to do? I got Crocs up there. You know what I'm going to do? I think that one Monday a month, and Joey, tell me what you feel about this. I think one Monday a month, I may spend more time on your stocks. What do you guys think about that? Giving me one Monday a month where I can spend more time on looking at your individual stocks. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? All right, so based on what you say, Joey and I may pick one Monday a month to spend a lot more time on your stocks. All right. Karen likes that idea. I love you, Glenn. Thanks. Okay. That's good. All right. Hamid says yes. Jake says yes. All right. We're going to, Joey and I, second Monday. Joey, look at that. How about the second Monday of the month? What do you think, Joey? We start to plan it out now. The second Monday of the month, we spend more time on their stocks.
I like it.
You like it? All right. So Joey likes it. I think then going forward, we're going to start to set aside the second Monday of the month to look at more of your stocks. But then the other 3 Mondays of the month, we're going to keep on going with the new format that I've got. All right. So looking at AGRX, I'm not feeling this. This is on a 3-month graph, folks. I do like the rise coming off support. Not a lot of volume. I'm not feeling this. I don't know what the news is behind it. I'm not feeling it yet. I need to see it get out of its own way. I got to see it get out of its own way. Now, Monashura says, Glenn, MTI is greater than 1.5. Do you buy? Let's go back to what's going on in the market. If I'm looking at it intraday to day, Monashura, the answer to that question is no. But if I'm looking at these on a longer term basis, let's go look at the market timing graph over the last 3 months to answer your question. We're still rising. I like that, Monashore. MTI is still above 1. The market's still moving up. The 3 and the 8 still look good. The answer to your question is yes. The answer to your question also for today's activity, no, as the market is moving down. Does that make sense, Monashore? That's what I'm going to tell you. All right. So let me finish looking at your stocks before we go. TDS. Ooh, telecom. I like the bounce off support, a little bit of a hammer formation, moved up, fell. The 3 and the 8 failed, but I like the rising volume. I wouldn't mind that, but I'd really like to see if this stock can take out this level of support sitting at the value of 1804. If you're in it, I'm going to say that's probably going to be your profit target on this stock. I like the move up coming off of this low. Even though it fell hard right here, it rebounded pretty quickly. If you're in it, though, that's probably your profit target. Crocs. Now, you said Crocs is moving. I thought it was an earnings thing. No, earnings. Here's earnings. The 3 and the 8 is still solid on it. That's nothing telling me to sell it. Whoever asked me the question, whoever asked me a question about Crocs is still moving. It's at 3-month highs right now. A little bit of a pullback today, but the 3 and 8 are still solid. There's nothing telling me to sell Crocs if I'm in it. There's nothing telling me to sell Crocs if I'm in it. Let's go to the next stocks, SNPS. I like the move. I do see that it's leveling out. The 3 and 8 are still in play. If I'm thinking about getting out of it, I would use the end of day 3 and 8 as a way of getting out of it. I'm not ready to get out of it. I do like the overall move, bottom left to the top right. Nothing's telling me to get out of it. Just because we have a down day doesn't mean you get nervous and get out. End of day, the 3 and 8 still look good. Wow, ALDX, this is a drug stock that I talked about it, and prior to earnings, nicely moving up. I like it. I've made some money. How many people have heard me have listened to the suggestion I gave about this was a phase 3 stock and made money on this stock? How many of you, when I talked about this as being a phase 3 stock, took advantage of it and made money? Type of 1 in the room. Type of 1 in the room. All right, I like this stock. I like this stock. I like this stock. It's trading at 3-month highs right now. The 3 and 8 look good. The volume is good. I talked about this as a stock that was a phase 3 stock. All right, so now talking about phase 3 stocks. Was that the last stock it was? I'm going to give you some more phase 3 stocks to keep on your mind. Right here, weekly biotech stocks. I subscribe to a website, Biopharma Catalyst, and they give me updates on stocks that have catalyst news. TGTX, CYCC, PHAS, and SCPH are my 4 stocks that I want you to pay attention going into next week. Let's take a look at these. All of these have, and put these on 3-month graph, all of these have news behind it. Energy says keep doing the phase 3 stocks. So I'm giving you 4 more right now. All of these have phase 3 or have some catalytic news that are coming out very soon about the stock. TGTX. Next one is CYCC. Look at the 3 and the 8 crossing. I'd like to see more volume. RT went above 1. I'd like this up at least to the value of 1.65, trading at $1.30 right now. Wow, look at FOS. PHAS down day today or pull back today, but look at that. Look at that. And again, all of these have some catalytic news that are coming out. SCPH 3A crossed Friday, continuation right up to that level of resistance. All right, Joey, put me on my last screen. There we go. Target Hospitality Corp didn't sleep on this stock, guys. Listen, I'm just telling you, I'm watching stocks for you. I want to keep your eyes on. Dang, Joey, where did it go? There we go. What did I do?
I don't know. It's all broke.
I didn't do it. You did it.
You did it.
You did it.
I know you did it.
Oh, whatever.
Did you close the homepage?
No, I don't think so.
Goes.
I'm gonna fight you later. All right,
Can't wait.
everybody. If me and Joey were to fight, type of 1 if you think I would win. Type of 2 if you think Joey would win. And I'll weigh out.
You're gonna walk over. You're gonna limp back.
No, you're gonna hear 2 hits. Me hitting you and you hitting the ground. There you go. There you go. So people are saying that you're gonna win. Really? They don't know. They don't know. All right, as we go out, look at that. 1 and 2 says Sonny. 1 and 2. All right, with that, folks, we had some fun today. We did have some fun, but we did talk about things that are moving the markets, stocks for you to keep your eyes on, and ways to still grow your portfolio. I love putting out a lot of different stocks for you to keep your eyes on. If you like the commentary we had today, hit that like button. I needed to do one more thing. Jim Penna is coming up this week. He's got a couple of webcasts for retirement. I'm going to go to that real quick. He's got a couple of webcasts coming up for retirement. And I'm going to give you a link. Joey's going to put the link in the room for you. It's called The 3 Most Effective Strategies for Managing Your Retirement Portfolio. He's got 3 webcasts, 2 on Wednesday. If you click on the link that Joey is going to put out there, click on that link. You can register for either one of the Wednesday webcasts or the Thursday webcast. All right. We need to support all of our people here in the education department. And especially if you guys are all about retirement, this is a great free webcast talking about the 3 most effective strategies for managing your retirement. So click on that link, folks. Select which day and time you want. join Jim Penna on either Wednesday or Thursday. And I think we're bringing him back on Trending Thursday this Thursday so he can talk to you a little bit more about it. All right, now you can put me on my end screen. Carol says, thank you, Glenn. Keep singing. Yep, here I can do a lot more singing, Carol, because this is all me. This is all me. I do what I want to do, unless Joey shuts me down. Hamid says, I enjoyed the class. That was Hamid on Facebook. Thank you very much, Hamid. I appreciate that. All right, I'm finna go. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We got 90 likes. I'd like to be at 100 before we go. If we do, we do. If we don't, that's fine. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for supporting Midday Market. This is what it's all about. It's all about bringing up stocks for you, the news for you, the market for you. It's all about you. I am just a guy here relaying that information. That's why I want you to share this stuff with the people that you know in your social circle. So with that, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha to all my peeps in Hawaii. Bom dia, salam, shalom, namaste, yasu. Until next time, folks, see ya.
That was good.